Captain on the bridge.
Alright, Captains, we are here back on the bridge, and today, yes, we got a new video dropping for the new game coming up, Star Trek Voyager, Across the Unknown, so on screen. Yes, Captains, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the YouTube bridge, but of course, do us a favor, hit the like button, it'll help this video, and of course the overall channel out. So, what I want to do in this vid is go over this video dropped by IGN, which has some new featured gameplay that we kind of wanted to showcase here, just because if you haven't seen it already, Captains, we actually played through the demo recently. I'll link that in the description below and or in the end card. You can see for yourself. My impressions of it wasn't too good, to be honest. It was about, I think I gave like a 6.5, but again, that could be different for you, Captains. I'm seeing some mixed comments from that demo that I did, because for the most part it could be someone else's cup of Earl Grey tea, not necessarily mine. But anyways, we're gonna go through the video, we're gonna just play it through its entirety, then at the end we'll drop our 2 cents. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Timo from GameXside, and today we want to show you different ways of completing missions based on your ship stats, available crew, and story choices. On our journey, we lost our resident telepath Cass early on due to a tragic accident. However, we used a wormhole to skip most of Borg space. Similar to the TV episode Message in a Bottle, we are using the Hirogen relay network to send the Doctor across half the galaxy to the USS Prometheus. Only that we developed the technology to send holo duplicates of 2 additional crew members along. This includes the Romulan Telek Remor, who we obtained in an earlier side mission and who proves to be especially useful as we are making contact to Starfleet for the first time in 5 years. Bad news. The relay network belongs to the Hirogen, who are not happy that we are using it. Starfleet is sending further transmissions through the relays, but like in the show, gathering them becomes a risky endeavor. So let's see how we can solve this situation with a ship that is focused on combat power. With a combat-focused ship, we can easily defend ourselves against the Hirogen attacks. But without advanced science labs, we need to visit additional relay stations to gather all the data, resulting in even more fights, with damage to fix, but also valuable loot. Eventually, we are led to download the final but crucial part of the transmission from the main relay, guarded by Idrin, the feared Hirogen Alpha. As our ship is armed to the teeth, we don't need to fear his fleet and can engage him head-on. Having bested him in battle, Idrin is even impressed with our strength and rewards us with the Hirogen hunting laser tech. But what if we had a ship focused on science and diplomacy? Our superior science labs allow us to gather more of the Starfleet transmission from fewer relays, thus minimizing the risk of Hirogen attacks. However, the ones that we face are quite devastating and require extensive repairs. Having gathered the data, we are once again faced with Idrin and his fleet guarding the final array, but our science ship is not able to take them head-on. Instead, we choose a stealthy approach by completing an away mission to try and gather the data without confrontation. Unfortunately, the mission fails, and Idrin captures our people. Now there is no way around combat, and we are hugely outgunned. But being a science ship, we have one last ace up our sleeve. We unleash the black hole inside the array. As the black hole swallows his escort, we only need to face Idrin alone. In a tough battle with the help of an ally, we are able to defeat his ship. But using the black hole came at a price. Security Officer Tuvok was lost to the black hole expanding. But what if we had a chance to save him?
Alright, well that was the video there, and this was from one of the devs from Game Excite. And again, you can see there actually says the official gameplay overview trailer from the IGN Fall Fan Fest. Now, there was a couple things here that is worth of note. I do love the fact that they're going over deeper into the gameplay and the what-if scenarios, and they're showing us this particular one about the Herodian Array. And let's pause it right there. 3 different type of choices that we can make. Now, as you can see there, we finally see one of the anticipated cast members, of course, at 7. So again, this is like all new, at least to me. I haven't seen this anywhere else. So we see a 7 there, and then we see this. Now, I will just say the Prometheus has become, or did become, one of my favorite ships after seeing it here in Star Trek Voyager. So seeing this is awesome, but again, unfortunately, it's just in like stills, in like a picture. That's it, in an image. And I really, for me personally, as much as it gives a visual representation of what's going on, it just feels so very slow in terms of just trying to capture me into it. Again, this is just not my type of sort of a gameplay, quote unquote. This is more like point and click, essentially, and read. But that was really nice to see. That probably might be part of the thumbnail. And as you can see here, again, a little bit more of the gameplay in terms of what you have to do. What, of course, will happen. You get to recruit officers here. Telek Ramor, I believe, was from the episode of Prometheus there. I believe that's why it's showing that image right there with the dock. Again, showing off, again, the mission playthrough that is just literally all about percentages if you're going to fail and or succeed. And then here we start seeing the whole gameplay play out in terms of the choices you make. So there was a combat scenario, there was a science scenario, and most interestingly, a Borg scenario, as you can see right there. So I thought this was pretty interesting. Literally combat, we just fought our way through. Science became like a almost detriment to the ship, as it really was a failure in terms of mission. And of course, it even said in the second choice that we lost Tuvok. So this isn't playing around in terms of, yeah, your decisions that you make in this game will gravely affect what happens to your ship and your crew. So that was absolutely insane there. Now, of course, again, it just plays out here, showing again the ship combat, more of the actual images from the game, which again, it's a very slow pace type gameplay, and it's okay if this is your type of game, right? This is in it for the long run, I believe, and it's just playing at your leisure. But you can see the science option, Voyager came out in a really bad spot. To fix all these rooms, from my experience in playing the demo, is going to require a lot of resources. So you're going to have to spend a lot of time in a sort of solar system trying to gather all the components you need to repair this. So again, you have to keep flying around and all these things, and then you'll just get that overview. And again, they mentioned here while they were playing here that we lost Tuvok, unfortunately, which again, they're not messing around when it comes to your decision making as a captain or as Captain Catherine Janeway. And of course, they tease the third option is the Borg build, where we don't know what that is. Now, the one thing I was thinking about here, so do we get to play all these scenarios out all at once, or do we have to play the game 3 times? Personally, I would not like to play the game 3 times. It's especially if it's going to be a long game. But also, if you're going to go through the scenario 3 different times, that could also be a little tedious and it just maybe not be too fun, possibly. But we're going to have to see how that plans out. But as you can see here, this option Borgifies the interior of Voyager. So again, some interesting little tidbits from this video, which was from, again, being narrated from one of the devs from GameExcite. I still have a little hope for this game in terms of what they will do before the release date, but I'm not sure. Again, according to the email that I received from GameExcite, they said that we could see the release in the next weeks or months. How much could really change in that time, I'm not too sure. So thought we would go over this. Again, some interesting things that came out of that. So what we'll do is leave it up to you, captains, to comment below. Let us know what you think of what you saw here, and again, what you'd like to see. And maybe the devs from GameExcite can kind of go over this and see if there's anything they can change for the better. But I have a feeling that this is going to be set in stone the way they do it, because it's a lot of I'll even say, like, kind of time that you've already gone into creating what they've got right now. So Caps, do us a favor, hit the like button. Again, comment below, let us know your thoughts. Consider subscribing here to the YouTube Bridge as we continue to cover Star Trek Voyager across the unknown. And maybe, as I mentioned in the demo, maybe we get access to a key that we will play here on the bridge, regardless of how we feel, just to see and show captains who kind of want to see some gameplay first how this game goes. So with that said, we'll leave it on this note until the next video.
Live long and prosper.